Hello, everyone. Have I told you yet that I had a job interview this past? I think I did tell you that, and it was actually at a correctional medical facility. It's. I told my coworker. I told my coworker where I was going, and he said, "Oh, the Nut House." Yeah, and let me tell you, this place looks awfully bleak. And I was just driving up to this place. There's like, it looks like something out of the Soviet Union, and all surrounded by cyclone fence and razor wire. It's like, my God, am I actually considering working here? But the good news is, well, the good news is I would be still pretty close to home. I'd be close to friends, and I'd be in civilization, which is actually a rarity in the Park Service. Of course, it would take me out of the Park Service, which isn't really something I want. But oh, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, where was I going with this? I kind of got lost. Um, but the good news, yeah, the good news is 2 weeks time I have another job interview, and that one will keep me in the Park Service, and I think the job actually pays better. So keep crossing your fingers for me, because this is what I've been working up towards. I think I told you that I've been sending out a whole bunch of applications, and it's for that job, which is way out in the boonies somewhere. Not the actual job, but the interview. I don't know why they're having it way out there, but I guess they figure that if you're willing to drive all the way out here, you must really want the job. I think that must be their reasoning with having it way out in the middle of nowhere like that. But yeah, the job I interviewed for is actually up near where my sister lives, so I spent the whole day with her, catching up with her, and you know, because we haven't been seeing each other in a long time, and if I do get this job, I will be seeing a lot more of her, because she'll be right down the street from me. But yeah, I'm hoping for the park job, because yeah, I got another job offer for a prison way out in the Central Valley, and I'm probably not going to put in an application for that, because it's just like thinking, okay, this is someplace I don't want to live, and it's a freaking straight state prison. I wouldn't be anywhere near any of my friends. I wouldn't be in the Park Service. I'm thinking, I don't care how much this pays. I don't want this job. So I'm probably not going to send in an application for that. What else did I do? Oh, I watched Poor Devil, which is 1970. I'm not sure exactly what year it was. I'm thinking 73. It was a TV movie with Sammy Davis Jr. And I'm just watching this movie, and I was thinking, they could not make this movie today. I mean, it's not like it was, dirty or anything, but the whole thing, well, not the whole thing, but the premise of this movie is Sammy Davis Jr. is a devil. And he's a minion of Lucifer, and he's kind of a screw-up because he has, like, this soft side. So they finally give him a chance, and he's supposed to get this accountant, who's played by Jack Klugman, to sell his soul to the devil. And that's basically the whole premise, and it was actually really entertaining. And it had, like, this great period music. Like, the fonts were wonderful. The costuming was wonderful. The cast was actually really good. I noticed, like, Gino Conforti, who's like the devil, who's sort of the rival of Sammy Davis Jr.'s character, whose name is Sammy, by the way. And I was thinking he was going to steal the show, but, when you're up against Adam West and Christopher frickin' Lee as Lucifer himself, yeah, it's kind of hard to steal the show from that cast. But the other thing that's really wonderful about that movie is it was set in San Francisco. So it's another movie with great period San Francisco footage. In fact, most of it takes place in the City of Paris department store, which I guarantee you is not there anymore. And that was where Jack Klugman's character was supposed to work. Was at the City of Paris department store, which I think a little of it might still remain. And if memory serves, it was on where the Hyatt Regency Hotel on 4th Street is now. But yeah, don't quote me on that. I'm just trying to... Someone told me this a while ago, and like apparently some of the structure of the atrium is still there, but most of it's just gone. But yeah, what was... I think the Joseph Magnin store was the last of the old San Francisco department stores that is now I think it was Gump's. I think it was Gump's because I remember seeing ads for Gump's just all around town well into the 90s. In fact, it might have even been into the 2000s, but yeah, that's the last of the... Someone used to call them the old lady department stores. But where was I going? Oh yeah, I kind of wanted to do some more, flashback memory things, nostalgia stuff about the Bay Area. And I've kind of already gone, giving you an idea of what I'm going to be, reminiscing about, with which is, stores of the past and shopping places, because I guess maybe I'm just reaching for stuff to talk about. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of stores and stuff that just don't exist anymore. And of course, the major department stores like Alpha Beta and... it was funny because Lucky was there and then it wasn't there and now it's there again. That was really weird. But when I was a kid, we had this other store that was called Lewis. And there was one down at the Terra Hill Center, which is... actually, the structure is still there. But the sign that said Terra Hill Center hasn't been torn down. It's been repurposed. It doesn't say Terra Hills Center anymore. And the weird thing was, like, it said Terra Hills, and Center was in a different font for some reason. I don't understand why. But, yeah, go online and see if you can find a picture of Terra Hills Center. But, yeah, they had the Lewis store, which was the grocery store there. And the Lewis store always kind of struck me as kind of a, I don't know, kind of a second-string store. And I didn't know this. I thought that was the only Lewis store. But apparently this was a small chain at one time. Because there's one in El Sobrante, which I didn't know. And there was one, I think there's like a Walgreens there now. The one out in Concord. Right where the BART tracks go over. I think that's on Galindo Street or something. But, yeah. But the Lewis store... It later got bought out by Big T, which was a bigger chain, I think based out in the Central Valley somewhere, because there were Big T stores everywhere. One of the parks I used to work at had a supermarket. It was just like kind of a rundown small town supermarket that used to be a Big T because it still had some Big T stickers and signage around. So, but yeah, I remember right next. It was so weird because right next to the Lewis store, just sort of attached to it, was a liquor store, and you could just like walk right through the liquor store, and that was where I used to buy my when I was in my teen years. I used to buy my wrestling magazines there, and I gotta tell you, I had a second use for those wrestling magazines, but we won't get into that right now. I want to keep this PG-13 rated. Yeah, and next to the right of, to the right. I guess it would be west, because, yeah, that would be west, because it's towards the bay. But west of the Lewis store was the Sprouse Rights, which I mispronounced Sprouse Reeds for many years, and that's another chain. I'm not exactly sure what the story on Sprouse Rights was, but I've seen a few of them around. I remember there was one up in like Angels Camp. I remember driving up into the mountains and seeing one out there. Again, it's no more, but we used to go there and buy candy because they would have the Lick-O-Maid. And if you don't remember what Lick-O-Maid is, actually I think they still make it, which amazingly, because this is just like, diabetes starter pack, because it's basically 3 pouches of colored sugar that you eat with a solid stick of rock sugar. I mean, there's nothing. It's just pure sugar. I mean, people talk about pixie sticks, but this is basically pixie sticks cubed. It's actually kind of appalling if you think about it. But yeah, we would get that there. There's all sorts of candy that we would get there, because apparently it was like really cheap candy. But Sprouts Rice was weird because it was not quite a department store, but it was more than a grocery store. They had, I remember they had a fabric section and sewing stuff. There's all sorts of weird stuff that they had there, but it was kind of like a semi-department store. And I remember that center also had, that was the first taqueria I ever went to, was the Taqueria Morelia number 2, which was right there. That was kind of our neighborhood taqueria. And there's a barber shop, there's a beauty shop, there was an ice cream place for a while. But yeah, we'd ride our bikes down there because that wasn't right around the corner from us. There was a liquor store right around the corner from us, and we would get candy there sometimes, and orange knee-high and stuff like that. That was also where the barber shop where I used to get my haircut was. And let me tell you about going to the barber shop in the 1970s, because my dad would take me down to this barber shop, and it was owned by this crazy Hungarian guy named Cinco, this guy was scary because he would cut your hair like, he just like cut really fast, and he would just like be talking over his shoulder to guys, as he's cutting hair, and like, it's the 70s, so like everyone's smoking big cigars and stuff, and just swearing like sailors. And I remember I'd be sitting there in the waiting chair, waiting for my dad to get his hair cut, and I just like pull off, go into the magazine rack and pull out, Penthouse Forum. They would have all these dirty men's magazines right there. And here I am, like 8, 9 years old, just like flipping through this and thinking, what does masturbation mean? And it's just well, there goes my, and I tried so hard to keep it PG-13, and that's out the window now, but oh well. What else was I going to talk about? It's not just going to be grocery stores. Like, what time is it? How long have I been talking? I think I've been talking long enough. We'll talk about more stuff. I kind of killed it with the whole, by bringing up the M-word. But yeah, there were a whole bunch more stores I wanted to talk about, but I think we'll have to do that in another one because this is already getting kind of long. So I'll just cut it off here and see you around.